and the 1+1 = 3 philosophy, I'm with him. I want Doncaster up there. I want Doncaster at the highest. That's their vision and that's their dream. If they can see it, they can go get that. And so, really positive, and anything that the Wolfpack can help the Doncaster club, they will.
Well, they got a little part of history in the Super League, Doncaster, and this is not widely known, but the day they were playing at Wigan at Central Park, I think it was a Friday, was the day that Super League was announced, the big meeting that was taking place at Headingley, and the very first we heard about Super League and the switch to summer rugby came out of that meeting. And it was on the day that Doncaster were playing at Wigan, and all the journalists at that game have no recollection whatsoever of that match.
I was going to ask you the score.
For the next 2 hours, everybody was writing the story or broadcasting the story about Super League. That was back in 1995, 22 years ago, good heavens. Seems like only yesterday, but Doncaster were up in the top flight. What's the name of the coach? The Welsh hooker, what was he called? Tony
Fisher?
Tony Fisher was the coach when they were up in the top flight, the old First Division, before Super League came about. And it is a club, great history. Another Bloody Sunday documentary from even further back than that, when they were one of the sides that used to get beaten every single week. Well, they've come a long, long way since then, and I'm sure that they've got a big future as well, that they can grow and grow. But at the moment, they are very much second best against a Toronto side who, with so many big name signings and so much flair in there, have already rattled up 6 tries, 34 points to 6. The Wolfpack leading, and they're on their way to going back level with Barrow at the top of League One. And the way the points difference is going at the moment, they might be getting close to overtaking Barrow at the top of League One. But Barrow will not be easily dispossessed of that top spot as the season goes on. Here we go, second half underway, kick downfield from Craig Hall. Wow, he puts some welly into that. I don't think he can blame even the swirling wind. It goes out of play. It's a penalty back on halfway line. Just the start that Doncaster wanted.
A great start for Doncaster, even though it was a Toronto kickoff.
So the kick, the penalty will... Oh, he has just... So it's a tale of 2 kicks almost, isn't it? One that went out of play and shouldn't have done, and one that should have done but very nearly didn't, but it has. So Doncaster with an excellent position here for Russ Spears, who's 10 metres away from that Toronto line, right at dummy half, cross to his right-hand side. Little step, but not stepping away from 3 advancing defenders. So Wright assumes that position again, and flicking it to Michaeli Azu, and Azu pushing hard. 5 away. The Toronto defenders are shouting at each other here to get themselves into position as Doncaster launch this attack here. A little dummy thrown by Howden, and he's tested them with a footwork. But again, test passed by the men in black. It's Wright. Just a couple of dummies thrown, and then he sensed it. He sensed the line. He went for it, but
We thought it was over, didn't we?
they hold him up. Just Howden collects. Oh, it's a poor pass for Carr, but somehow they keep possession.
Well, that was the best manufactured kick play I've ever seen. Carr got the shocker, the pass, and has volleyed it. And it nearly came off for the right centre Wellham, or Martin, whoever it was on that right-hand side. Tonks, was it?
Tonks.
And the Wolfpack survive. Proper improvised play.
Here's Fui, and you could see Charlie Martin really lighting himself up there in preparation, and they've done a job on Moi Moi on this occasion.
Great job that time.
Laithwaite. How many's that? 4 tackles gone in the set. So Doncaster's defence is stepping up here. Across the line, it's taken. Wheeler on the field, and here... Oh, it's play on. The ball went to ground. The referee says play on. Worthington, that's the 5th. So here comes the last now. It's with Wallace to Wheeler, and Wheeler spins it high. It's an awkward bounce here, and the winger's just going to let it go out of play. Doherty in.
And Doherty was keen for it to go out of play. There was a fair decent kick chase there. They made oceans of metres down that left-hand side, the Wolfpack, and then a +2 kick. So the second receiver in the line of things, Wheeler as it was then, has just leathered the ball into the corner.
So head and feed for Doncaster here, but deep inside their own half. So lots to do. 37 minutes of the game remaining. They're 28 points behind. The chances of winning this game, you'd have thought, long since gone. We have seen miracles in the past, but it would take something very, very special here. The task for these Doncaster players is to reassert themselves in this second half. Win the second half, Brian. Would that have been the message from the benches, from the sheds?
He's carried the ball real well, hasn't he, Tarley? Wow, you've got to aim up when he comes and carries the ball. And they're playing the ball quicker. If just look at Doncaster, what they're doing, they're trying to play the ball a bit quicker. Defensively, they've aimed up. They've got in the way of the black shirts. So Coach Thornton's thinking, I'm going to play tough football. We're going to get to the right parts of the field. We're going to show you that had we got it right in the first time, it may not be the split that it is now.
Horden's kick has QLT scampering across to catch it on the full. But this is a big test here at the moment.
That was a great catch, wasn't it?
It needed to be. Phew. Was that Worthington on that far side? It was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, flings it back towards the middle. And here's Wheeler with a chance to shine, having appeared from the interchange bench. Bezic has time to have a look around and decide he's going to go left to Moy Moy, who in turn hands it on again here to Sidlow. And Sidlow's working a passage to the halfway line, despite those three defenders hanging around him. It's a good few yards bought there from Sidlow. Bezic taken in by Wallace. They read the pass, they made the tackle.
The locals were screaming for the forward pass.
Oh, here it goes for Kay, and that was a forward pass. No doubts about that. You could see Liam Kay was stretching his arms out to get on the end of that.
Yeah. QLT is forward anyway, but he's actually done really well there, hasn't he? Kay to catch and dispatch it with his foot. The Doncaster have aimed up these first 5 minutes. They look more vigorous, don't they? They look more solid in the middle of the park, and the coach will be pleased with his first 5 minutes in this second half, I'm sure.
He's looking smart with his new glasses, Paul Rowley. Not seen those before.
Neither is he. Couldn't find them.
Doncaster in possession, deep inside their own half. The sun still shines above this stadium, but gloomy mood from the locals. Or one of those dummy half plays. We've not seen one of those for a few years.
They call it the mousetrap for our viewers.
I remember in Millwall bringing out St Helens. St Helens did that a few years back.
The mousetrap's back. Well done, Gary Thornton.
Yeah. Tarley. Right. Ball's lost, and it is lost. It's not been stolen. It is lost. And so hearts sag because those Doncaster players find themselves with a lot of work to do again here.
He may drop the ball here. There's the mousetrap. Off he goes. Next play, unfortunately, Tarley drops the ball, which puts a bit more pressure back onto the blue and yellows, the Doncaster team. But nice innovation there. Here's the next play. Hit with the shoulders.
But he loses the ball.
Yeah, he does. He was on his version of getting up and trying playing it quickly. He was trying to do the right thing by his team, but of course he couldn't quite hang on to it.
We're off to Wrexham next week. That game, Toronto at North Wales Crusaders next Friday, 5 p.m. kickoff, by the way. Make a date for your diary for that one. Here comes Worthington. And then not long after that, there's a Challenge Cup tie, of course, at Toronto. Have to go to Salford. That will be a test against Super League's form side, Salford, who are second at the moment in the table. They're going great guns at the moment. And then it's back to Toronto the week after for the match against Oxford, the first match in Toronto. But they're doing okay in South Yorkshire at the moment, at the Wolfpack, leading as they do by 34 points to 6. And Bezic goes left and Moy Moy goes straight on. He doesn't know any other way, and he's got himself over the line again for his second try of the game. I think even this early in the season, that hat-trick against the Scholars, and then 2 here today, I think this is going to be one of his most profitable try-scoring seasons of his career.
Well, again, you've got to have good technique. It's really hard to criticise the Doncaster defenders here because he's 20 stone on the fly, and I think he gets Wellham there in the middle. Caught out there trying to defend there, or is it Martin? I think it's Wellham, surely, but whoever it is, watch out. You go high, you've literally got to take some of the stand with you. Some people watching in the stand, how do you stop him? Well, this is not a criticism of Doncaster. This is, you got to weigh him up in numbers and really get around the ball. Take him over the line and don't let him get the ball down.
So he missed the Whitehaven game and he missed the Keighley game, didn't he, Fui? So he's only played 2 league games. this year, and he's already got 5 tries to his name. Hall puts the kick over the top to make it 6 out of 7. 5 tries in 2 games. Fui, what a return.
Well, he's 5 metres from the line, and no disrespect there, but that's too hard for one person to try. And you've got to talk to each other on the line. You've got to get really low. Somebody's got to wrap the ball up, put it onto your own chest so you can't get it down. And even if you go over the line with him, you don't get the ball down. But the coach will be disappointed there, as you see on his face. But it's not the first person he's done that to.
Well, Kay's got 5 tries this season. Pownall's got 5 tries this season. Well, here's the restart that's causing a few problems. And Moy has got 5 tries this season. So that's quite literally left, right and centre, isn't it? It is a Toronto attack that comes at you from all angles. Crossley was losing that ball, it would have seemed.
I thought he lost the ball, yeah.
He somehow managed to keep a hold. Otherwise, Doncaster were in with a chance to infuse again. But instead, it's Toronto through Moy, and now Laithwaite, and Laithwaite offloads, and Hall takes it on and bowls it away to Pownall on this right-hand side, who puts the foot down, tries the kick, it bounces off the heels. It's going to be offside if a Doncaster man picks it up there. That's why they didn't pick it up. Bezic now carries on. Carr diving at him, can't get hold, but there's another man there in the shape of Martin.
Martin got to
puts him down.
Got a great ricochet play, expansive play from the Wolfpack. Hall releases Pownall. He puts a little dribble kick through, and now they have the field position.
Wheeler left to Wallace, to QLT, to Worthington, to Kay. Doncaster stretched.
It was good defence from Doncaster.
Making sure they got there. Here comes Sidler, who gets it away, and it's going to be Worthington who bounces through on this occasion. Another who's back, in his case, from an injury situation, but bouncing over, and that's the 8th Toronto try of the afternoon.
Weight of pressure, weight of possession. They've gone down the field with the ricochet play. Pownall, they go coast to coast on the other side. Sidlow comes back against the grain. Worthington gets his one-on-one, and unfortunately Doherty can't come up with a defensive play to stop him, and just too big, too strong in that case. It's a one-on-one. There's Doherty trying to stop Worthington, but he skips out of the tackle and plops the ball over it. Good play from Sidlow with a selective offload. And a returning try for Greg Worthington.
Testing kick from the near the sideline for Hall. How many goals did he kick now? 6 today. So that takes him to, for the season, 28. 72 points he's scored so far this season, when he had on his tries as well. There he goes. That takes him on to 74. 7 out of 8 and 6-46. Toronto lead here. And just to put this into context, Brian Noble, look, I mean, we were saying before this game, this is possibly the biggest test that Toronto have had. So that underlines how much the Wolfpack have really stepped up today, and Doncaster have been made to look ordinary.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. You know, every week there are different challenges, but you have to say there's been no lack of effort from this Doncaster team. It's probably a reflection of the quality in the Wolfpack team. That they're having a crack, this Doncaster team. It'd be unfair not to say that they're not. It's the concentration levels that you have to keep, and the element of skill defensively that you have to keep, and some good things going on from the Wolfpack team, but the endeavour from Doncaster to try and get into this game is there for all to see.
Laithwaite in, wanted to get that ball out but couldn't. Goes down in the tackle, and Bezic is your man at dummy half again, and Moy is again driving it in.
They've done well there. The Doncaster fans appreciate that. They've got numbers into the tackle on Moy.
Wallace hurls it left. Worthington with a little step and then the kick, but back there is the winger Doherty to make sure that Doncaster have it back again. But look where they're starting, 10 from their own line. Real heavy labour here for the team in blue and yellow. Carr wants it played quickly. It's going to be Wright instead who picks it up from that dummy half position. Connor Scott is a man who drives it in to his feet. You can see the hard work that he's been involved in today with the labouring climb back to his feet that he put in there. Michaeli Azu is the next man in. Right. A little step by Hedges. Hedges held up and pushed back. The former South Sydney youngster. I think at 21 we can still describe him as a youngster.
He's only a pup, isn't he?
And the kick from Carr. Into the hands of Pownall and QLT. He's got the license to thrill today, has QLT. We see that from the try he scored in the first half, but he's bundled over in the first instance by Wellham.
Well, the back three will be looking for opportunities to be expansive.
Taken well by Kay. And he's just a little tug of the legs there from Mason Tonks when he wanted to get up and play it, and every right to get up and play it. Penalty given.
Yeah, it was the right penalty. You're trying to give Doncaster a chance here and say that wasn't a penalty, sir, but he's blown his whistle for the right reasons there. Kay's won the initial contact, he's one-on-one, and Tonks is hanging on to him because he wanted to play the ball quickly there.
So Bezic with a tap restart. See the Richard Whiting's on the field as well, and Toronto travelling well towards that line once again. QLT up and plays it, little dummy by Bezic, and Kay will fly in that left corner. His second try of the day, and how many of his tries this season already have been real eye-catchers. And Toronto up to the half-century.
It's a smart short side play, set play. Bezic knows this is going to the short side, lies to the open, comes to the short side. Kay in a bit of space, has kept himself in, leaps over and finishes and plonks the ball down. Just a misalignment on the short side from the Doncaster defenders, which gives them the opportunity to play this play, and doesn't miss from there.
So he now becomes temporarily Toronto's top try scorer this year, and I think the top try scorer this year so far. 6 tries for the season. He'll get many more. Had a great season maybe a couple of years ago. I mentioned this before, 36 tries in one season for Lee in the Championship. I think he might be pushing that number close this year if he stays healthy. Bussey's coming back on the field. So is Emmett. Crossley's coming off. Bezic's coming off, and Jacks is coming back on as well. There's Hall from the touchline, swinging it in. Has he got it? Yeah, he has. You bet he's got it. 8 out of 9. It's not just 4 they're going up with. It's 6 a time they're going up with the accuracy of Hall's kicking. 52 points to 6.
That's a smart play. Attracts Wellham, who needs to go for Bezic. So they all jump in one. So just explain to our viewers that creates, if Liam Kay holds his space on the wing, gives him the opportunity for the score.
9 tries scored. The job here now for Doncaster is to hold on to the shirt tails of the team in black. The job for Toronto is to carry on in their entertaining style and plunder many more points in the 25 minutes that still remain. Emmett in and down. 25 from his own line. Laithwaite now is being tasked to run it, and a great offload from him as well, and Hall stepping away. Oh, there's a man gone down there. Lewis Sheriff, I think, has gone down. I think he twisted his knee and fell down.
Yeah, I think he looks at him.
So he stays down in backfield. He's getting back up now to join the defence, but Toronto plundering the other side this time. Worthington with a pass. Kay has got a bit of space here, but has to come back down the middle.
Good
Pace
football.
and power, not enough to beat that. Doncaster defending, and another penalty because Doncaster trying to slow it down.
Well, it's just a bit too hectic and a bit fast for the Doncaster team at the moment. Coast to coast, the Wolfpack went then, one side to the other side. Good, quick, slick hands, and 6 more players to defend for Doncaster.
Sidlow almost making mincemeat of them in the very first play, and Jacks from dummy half finds that ball knocked down. Doncaster give away the scrum. Head and feed for the Wolfpack, I think, here. Yep.
There's a knockdown from Jacks.
So 6 tackles to have a real go here. 10 metres out from this Doncaster line. Opportunities knocking again here. Wheeler standing out. QLT, he has been a standout. Oh, and the knockback. This will give another set here. This is a free play now for Toronto. Once this tackle's complete, their tackle count will start. That if it completes, because Hall back to QLT. Now he goes down. So 6 tackles from here. Toronto 12 yards away. Jacks, Emmett, Wheeler, all through the hands of Wallace, and picked up instead by Liam Wellen.
And he's off. He's on his own. A bit of respite here for this Doncaster team. Great pick up from Wellham.
It's Doherty.
Doherty.
Right, all a little too slow again. Decided now that Richard Whiting was too much involved after the tackle was finished.
Well, the referee's consistent, you'll say that, and that's a good penalty for Doncaster. Claw their way down the field. And a good carry from Ezu.
What a chance to build from here. Where does it take them? It's a little slow again from Ezu, clearly hurting a little after that tackle. This time it's Connor Scott.
He's looked okay carrying the ball, hasn't he, Scott?
Cross, eventually to Tally. Carr in at dummy half, nearly quit the game a couple of years ago, Tom Carr, because of a knee injury, but Gary Thornton persuading him to carry on, and it's a decision I'm sure he's glad he made, to carry on. It's a tough day today, but he's had some great days, and there's a knock-on by Jordan Howden. Toronto have it back. The play is a free play. Whiting almost through. Dragged down, still not down. Yes, he is now. And that is the start of the set here. And the referee is going to give another penalty. Shaking his head as he walks forward here.
Well, Carr was trying to hang on for dear life to Whiting, wasn't he? Here's the drop. He crosses it. Well, Howden, sorry.
Does the referee think about more leniency in this situation? Anyway.
What do you mean?
In terms of holding on there. Anyway, let's carry on. It's Wheeler to Whiting, and Whiting steps back on in the inside and goes inside one and outside the other. And Richard Whiting is putting his name up in lights now. 59 minutes played. That's try number 10. And Toronto are advancing strongly.
Well, Whiting wasn't for going 60 metres on his previous carry in the break that got the penalty, but expansive play straight away. Jacob Emmett, Rhys Jacks coming around. Wheeler puts the money ball onto Whiting, and he just keeps his big long strides going and under the sticks. And from end on, it's quite intimidating. It's every right to get it over the line, but again the half. Jacks at 9, Wheeler going at the line, Whiting long stride. You've got to get in front of these people, and a good score from Richard Whiting.
There's another who's got that grand final Challenge Cup pedigree in his locker, hasn't he? A winner in 2005 for Hull. And there's the kick added on by Hall again. He's filling his boots today, isn't he? Whiting also the grand final loser a year later in 2006.
Well, it looks easy and it looks simple. It's on the back of a fractured Doncaster defensive line from the penalty previously. They haven't quite got back in there. Remember, it's the hottest day of this season so far, so there'll be a few engines running out of petrol here, and if you're having all the ball like the Wolfpack, that even makes it harder for this Doncaster team.
Emmett, as Toronto look to bring it back again. Whiting. Still acres of time left in this game for Toronto to turn it into a real spectacle and score lots more tries. 58-6 it stands. Sidlow, 5 short of the halfway line. Jacks in at dummy half. Emmett, flat pass to Bussey. Bussey's got support whichever way he wants to go, and it's going to be Rhys Jacks, his selected pass, who scores underneath the sticks. And that's 2 tries now in the space of 2 minutes. Rhys Jacks is the latest over the whitewash, and they bust the 60-point mark.
All about shape and quality of skill, this. Jacks is the recipient of the easy score. Bussey makes the break, but I think it's Wheeler that goes at the line, and here's a pass out the back from Emmett. It's Emmett to Bussey that's the big play, the money ball, and Jack Bussey just has to hold his nerve because Rhys Jacks is on his inside to finish the play. Take a bow, Jacob Emmett here. Lovely soft skills. We've seen the biff and the barge and the individual tries. Well, that's a lovely little pass from Jacob Emmett.
So Hall will add another 2. Hall is an apt name today, isn't it? Because he's got quite a points haul now. 20 points for himself, Craig Hall. So he's up to 80 points for the season in game number 4. He's averaging 20 points a game, Craig Hall. Because he's not just kicking goals, he's scoring tries as well, isn't he?
He's a good player. There are some good players in black jumpers out there and some that aren't playing. And this is not a reflection on Doncaster, this is a reflection on the quality of the team that they're playing.
It's a point a minute at the moment, just above. Remember, Toronto's record score was that 76-0 win against London on the very first day of the league season. Might be something that's not necessarily at the back of their minds, but Toronto followers will be hoping to see that landmark fall. Knock on there by Laithwaite. There is a little bobble, and as soon as it hits the man on the opposition, it's a knock on. So good call, referee.
So that's it. So come on, Doncaster, here's your chance. A bit more field position. Remember the try you scored in the first half. It may be a kick opportunity, it may be a chase opportunity. They've got some ball in Toronto half, which is what they've been looking for.
This is going to make a real marker here today, isn't it? It's a real mark of where Toronto are at as Tali brings it in. And he's stopped in his tracks. Right again, picks up. Step back in by Tonks. They're measuring up here, Doncaster, for a real crack at this Toronto line. Hedges. And a step by Cross. But they rush out and smother him, those Toronto defenders. They've not made too much yardage so far. They've not got much closer to that Toronto line, haven't Doncaster so far. They will now, because Castle is a straightforward man and gets the offload as well away, and they're trying things. They're trying to make things happen, but they're trying too hard. Offside, knock on, player offside.
Thacker was in front of right, was it? So here's the speculator. Carr's in the frame there, Thacker's in the Thacker, touches it and then touches it again, and
well, it's given as a knock on because it's a scrum down, I think.
Yeah,
not a penalty.
Yeah, I think he's been advised by his officials there, which is the right call.
A little bit of heated discussion taking place after that as well amongst a couple of the players. We don't mind seeing that every now and again. Shows a commitment. So Toronto head and feet. Let's go down to the touchline. Aaron Murphy, what news have you got down there?
Thanks, guys. Jordan Howden's just rushed by us here down pitch side. Looks like the concussion protocol in place. He took a blow to the temple. Looked a little worse for wear, but is getting treatment down below here. So hopefully he'll be okay, but it looks like he won't play any further part in the game.
Cheers, Aaron. Thanks for that. Keeping us updated on the touchline with anything that might need to be reported. Worthington, in the meantime, for Toronto on tackle 3, has taken his side inside that Doncaster half again. Kay is anxious for a hat-trick here today, so he'll go in search of a break, but can't find it at the moment. Jacks to Wallace. A couple of forwards on the inside. Bosses through again. Same thing, and there in support is Wallace this time. And he was almost waiting for him, wasn't he, Bussey, having made that break. For a moment it looked as though the referee might be getting in the way, but Wallace is over for his second try of the day. That's try number 12 now.
Well, again, it's smart hands in the middle of the field from the Wolfpack team, and Bussey is the recipient of the break ball. Goes at the line. Here's Wallace. Wallace. Little ball to Bussey. He does the hard stuff, waits for Wallace to come back to support his own first pass. So that's a terrific score for Blake Wallace. He'll be delighted with that going at the line. Bussey makes the break. Wallace on the inside supporting Wheeler there also. And it's a terrific try from the Wolfpack.
They're sharing them out to a certain extent. 7 different try scorers in amongst the 12 tries that have been scored. Fui with a couple, Kay with a couple, Wallace with a couple, but Bussey, Bezic, Worthington and QLT also getting in. What they're not sharing out is the goal kicking. Craig Hall, he's on for his 11th goal of the afternoon. Not going to miss from there, and doesn't. 11 out of 12, not a bad return. So 6 points to 70 is now the score. And Aaron Murphy down on the sidelines. I think we can go to you again. Have you got some more news for us down there, Aaron?
Thanks, Dave. With the scoreline here, I was just talking to the doctor about the heat. It's 24 degrees Celsius in Doncaster today. Feels more like 28 or 29 pitch level for the players. So lots of hydration. The doctor's telling me down here they're keeping the guys hydrated and keeping an eye on them. It's the hottest game they've had so far. Also, good practice. Good to note that it will be hot, maybe a few degrees hotter for some of the games in Toronto. So good training for them ahead as they go to Toronto May 6th.
Thanks, Aaron. Carr with the restart. Wheeler with a catch. Here comes another launched attack from Toronto. Even though they're deep inside their own half, you sense that they feel they can break this Doncaster side down again. 12 minutes of the match remaining. They wouldn't mind another couple of tries. Doncaster really do need to hang on here. QLT just bouncing away from would-be defenders, but in the end, tenacity pays out. And he's going to be held on to by Liam Wellham. That was Dixon. This is Jacks. Emmett, the man to receive it. And Emmett sees a little pocket in which to run and show that he has the muscularity to have a go. And he's put down 5 inside the Doncaster half. Wallace again. Where's he going? Back to Wheeler. Wheeler with a kick towards the corner. There might be a chase on here. There might be a chase on here, but it's bounced out of play. And it'll give Doncaster the head and feet here. They should get the ball back, but look where they start from again.
Yes, smart kick from Wheeler into the corner. I think both teams recognising the heat that Aaron's just described out there in the centre. It's tough work today, so I think they'll both walk to the scrum and regather their thoughts. And Doncaster need to find a strategy to get them down the other end of the field again. Quick play the balls, maybe that's easier said than done today. So get down on your front, find your front, try and entice a penalty out of the referee and show your prowess with the ball.
He's not stopped trying all day, has he? Jason Talley.
He's played well. In a beaten team, he's played really well.
Played for the Papua New Guineans in the last World Cup. Not the best of World Cups for Papua New Guinea, was it? A couple of years ago now, 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, 2013. We're in a World Cup year again, aren't we? So 4 years ago. I'm sure PNG will be expecting to put a lot more into this next World Cup. They're hosting a couple of games, and one of those to look out for. All the matches, by the way, here on Premier Sport. That World Cup will be covered here on Premier Sport. And Papua New Guinea hosting the first match against the Welsh. So how good will that be?
It's a good carry from Martin. And a quick play of the ball.
Ooh, kick straight into the back of Wheeler. That's a way of... Oh, and almost an interception from Hall.
He was gone, wasn't he?
That was nearly everything.
Sure, he would have been gone if Cross had picked that one up. A little bit of ricochet and a bit of balance, and Hall's batted back the ball down. So some good field position again here for the Doncaster team, and a bit of speculation there. Kieran Cross thought he was gone.
Nobody's rushing here. Everybody's again conserving energy. 9 minutes to go, just over. 70 points to 6. Toronto lead. My maths are not the best, but I think Barrow might just be still hanging on to top spot on points difference. On the back of this. Well, they might be. I think they might be relinquishing it, actually. Here's the drive by Castle, and the ball's been lost.
It was a great small ball from Jamie Thackeray as well. He still has that subliminal skill at the line, and he'll be a big asset for this Doncaster team this year. Confident of that.
Worthington in and out, and back in again. Rhys Jacks. And Sidlow straightening things up. The former Bradford man. Here's Jacks waiting. Toronto desperate to go out with a little bit of flair here, having entertained us royally today. Or the back flick from Wheeler, just about got away with that. It's still the 6th tackle, by the way.
I think he's lucky enough to go back to 0.
Has he gone back? Yep.
Doncaster player batted it down.
Yep, you're right. Good spot. Referee saying another set to go, so that's a bonus from Toronto's point of view as Laithwaite takes it in. 5 tackles to go the 40 metres here. Jacks and Sidlow stepping into a gap, and the offload, and Bussey is over to finish. Terrific play. Absolutely terrific play. And Bussey becomes the latest man to a brace of tries. There's 4 of them now who've got 2 tries today. Bussey's been involved in creating a few as well, but he will nod the head at Sidlow there. This is great, wasn't it?
It's a great footwork from Sidlow. He's the big man going at the line here. Boom, comes off his left foot, gets his hands free. Bussey supporting up the middle. Clearly enjoyed that one, Jack Bussey. Yeehaw! Get under the sticks. And again, great skill from Sidlow in relation to the offload. Doesn't he like that?
Had a great season at London last year, didn't he, Jack Bussey? And he's having a great start to the season for Toronto. Missed the last game, didn't he, because of injury? Here's Hall again. I think he's already uncatchable almost at the top of the point scoring charts this season. That's his 24th for the day. 84 in total. He's going to pass a century before the season's barely started.
Yeah, it's a great half break from Sidlow. Gets his hands free. Jack Bussey supporting up the middle. There are going to be opportunities. Tired team that they're playing against.
Well, you've got to pick a man of the match out of all this as well, Brian. Wheeler's catch. Scoreboard operator. He comes in the reckoning, doesn't he? On a day like today. 76 points to 6. Can't sit down if you've got to keep changing the tins. Thackeray, not popular with the Toronto players as a result of that. Kesik's back on, he's having a bit of a go. Castle. A little kiss.
Too hot to fight, isn't it?
Liam Kay, I think Liam Kay just planted a peck on the cheek of Kesik there, didn't he?
I think he did.
Touch judge on as well to help out, both of them.
What was the penalty for?
The infringement in the tackle. I think Thackeray might have been involved. Was a card coming out. It's a red card.
Really?
Red card for Thackeray. Well, he's furious, but he's off. Thackeray's sent off. I think the touch judges spotted a kick in the tackle, and that's why. Let's have a look at this again. Now make your own judgments here. Have a look. Have a look. Did he kick him? Thackeray's the man getting up off the floor here. Well, there's nothing in that, was there?
Well, I don't think he deserves a send-off. It's flicked out, and I think he's a bit frustrated. He does actually kick it in, but it's not. I think the referee could have managed that a little bit better. In theory, there's a kick there, but wow. I think it's more of get off the legs kind of thing.
It's a sunny day in Doncaster, but I think Gary Thornton might be tempted to go home and draw the curtains after this today. 76-6, and then the ignominy of losing a player to a red card as well. There might be more to come. The tap from Kay. Toronto 35 out from that Doncaster line. Here's Wallace. Kay in the centre's position.
Done some work today, hasn't he, Liam Kay, as well as score a couple of tries.
Does he come into your reckoning, man of the match?
Certainly does.
Sidlow, but again one of those flicks. He's enjoying that. Bezic pulling away from defenders. You sense that the 80 points are there to be breached here, with Toronto pushing hard again. Emmett, Wheeler pops it over the top. Hall is secluded out there, runs back to the middle to find out if he's got some support, runs away from Charlie Martin, and Hall is going all the way across to try and make something happen. It comes off a Doncaster player. The referee says another set of 6. This is a free play. Liam Kay will now collect it. Bussey now takes it on. They're playing basketball, but it was a forward pass. But the referee says we'll go back
for the free play.
We'll go back to free play. So we'll give Toronto head and feet at the scrum with 5 minutes to go.
Hall just runs across field looking for a willing runner. Finds it in Dixon. There's the play on back to 6 to Hall again. He gets the ball back, flicks it out to the back. It's flicker-flack rugby. Liam Kay goes at the line saying that one's forward to Bussey. So he adjudicates a forward, but it was from the free play from the knock-on from the Doncaster player.
So you're describing flicker-flack rugby. I've never heard that before.
Try saying that.
No. So they won't stop the clock because both packs are quite happy to wait and pack down, get a bit of breath back on an airless day. That breeze that it just picked up a little bit, but that was a strong breeze in the first half, but it's died down considerably in this second half.
I think Wallace and Jacks have had reasonable contributions today. Wallace probably the pick out of those two.
There's the pass to QLT. It's Wheeler.
Wheeler's shown touches in this second half, hasn't he? I think Tarley gets a mention for his stoicism through this Doncaster effort.
Jacks to Emmett. Emmett step. Back it goes. Wallace goes left. Keeping that ball alive. Bussey is going to be over for a hat-trick here.
Liam Kay also gets a mention in that.
So Emmett takes it in, and Jack Bussey, who's been creator of 2 and finisher of 3, takes Toronto to 80 points for the day.
It's a good finish on Bussey. I think that the heavens open up for him literally. You know, he puts the ball out there and the Doncaster defenders drop off him, bearing in mind they're 1 down as well with Thackeray being sent off. And I don't know how many hat-tricks he's scored in his career, Jack Bussey. He's certainly had a couple of hand in, a couple have been made as well, hasn't he?
One every minute, 13, 14. So he's your man of the match today, Brian Noble.
Liam Kay gets a mention as well, but Jack Bussey is the man of the match today with 3 tries. He's the first Toronto man today to score 3 tries and had a hand in a couple of touches and a couple of hits and a couple of carries, and again just beating Liam Kay to the punch in relation to man of the match.
Well, they filled their boots today. Have the Toronto Wolfpack. We built this as a challenge. Well, I think we can say challenge well and truly overcome. There's a happy coach, Paul Rowley. His side running in their biggest score so far this season, 82 points to 6 against Doncaster. Doncaster will be back. They will bounce back, make no mistake of that. But Toronto marching on and on. They and Barrow looking the real powerhouses at the top of the table. Newcastle keeping them company as well. But Doncaster will try to pick the bones out of this. Gary Thornton, I'm sure he will not be a happy man when he looks back at the video. Doncaster fans wondering what's happened here.